Hi, this is Coach Ray, and I just wanted to do these quick videos. I call them learning snacks, and they're really designed to support you. I mean, right now we are at just one of the most interesting time in our world's history, and a lot of people are trying to navigate COVID-19, and many of the organizations that I have the great fortune of coaching and training. Um, and really consulting, I'm getting a lot of similar questions. So I figured instead of me just having these same questions over and over and over again, let me create these learning snacks where you can get in and out and get some of these questions answered when it comes to, really leading a team when you have most of your team working from home. A lot of people are currently working from home. And so I'm addressing frequently asked questions and scenarios and situations that have been coming up on a regular basis. And this video specifically, I'm going to be talking about when your employees are trying to balance work and they have kids at home and their kids are out of school as well, and many of our employees are finding themselves stepping into the role of teacher and they're homeschooling. And so the question I get many times is like, how do I balance this? How do I help my team balance it? And if you're that individual, how do you balance working from home and as well as homeschooling your children? So many of you might not realize my first business was actually a family daycare. And so, I understand how it is very challenging to do both. And the first bit of advice that I could give you as you're navigating through this interesting time is be flexible. Be flexible. Be flexible. It's interesting. If you are a parent, you probably recognize that most of us, although we enjoy the summer months when our kids are out of school and we get to go on vacation and spend time with them, a lot of parents are like, oh, I can't wait until school starts back. And the reason why is because we have this routine, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And so the first thing you want to do is give yourself a break. This is an unusual time, and it is not business as usual. It is not normal, and you have to be flexible. You have to realize that there are going to be times that you want to create structure. So let's talk about that routine, right? So having routine, be having your routine is actually going to be your best friend. And the more you can create a routine for yourself as well as your children. So, what does that look like? It looks like, okay, if my kids are homeschooling and they actually have a teacher that's on video, what are the hours that they're doing? One suggestion is, actually having your children get up like normal, go through the regular routine, whether it's them, making breakfast, putting on their clothes, and then even putting on their backpack. Their backpack signifies that, okay, I'm getting down to business, and having them march down to whatever, the kitchen table, if that's where they're going to be doing their work, and have them work on their homework from there, watch the videos if you have a computer set up, creating the lunch schedule, the snacks, all of those things that you can create a routine. It creates that structure for yourself as well as for your children. The other thing that I just want to add is establishing boundaries. Now, I learned how to do this very early on when my kids were growing up. And the reason why is because for the majority of my lifetime, I have worked from home. I have, uh, been an entrepreneur, and my kids have been on this path with me. And so, there are times when they're home, whether it's home for, there's a day off, Columbus Day or whatever, or there were times when it was vacation and I needed to have meetings and I needed to have sales calls. So I taught them very early on how important it was for them to respect if I was on a call, that I was not to be interrupted, and to understand that it's okay for them to wait. Right? If you're going to kill your brother, you kill him quietly. If I'm on a call, I don't want to hear it. But it really is about, you know, creating those boundaries and that respect for each other. And the other thing that I did, just from a very practical standpoint, is I put on I went and got a wall calendar, and this wall calendar actually broke down my schedule. So they were able to see in real time. It's like between these hours, I was on calls, when I had meetings, when I had breaks, so that if they did have something to communicate with me, they can interrupt me during those times. And then also, I have, my door, and I actually have a do not disturb sign. So that's another thing that I put in place so that they knew that if I had the door closed, that I was working. And typically what would happen is after I was finished with a call or a meeting, I would open up the door so that gave them, notice that, okay, I'm available. So I share all this to say that this is a unique time, and we want to give ourselves a break. We want to be flexible. We want to create as much routine as possible, and we want to establish healthy boundaries. It's going to take practice over time, but what I will share is that your children will be better for it. You're going to be a better employee leader because of it. And at the end of the day, there will be some gifts that comes from this pandemic. And so hopefully this was valuable insights for you. And, as I mentioned in a previous video, these learning snacks are really designed to help you navigate this disruption and really support you. So if me or my organization can be of help, by all means, please reach out. We are here to serve. We are here to help you. And as always, live boldly, authentically, and courageously. Bye.